This is the Listen Up Future Nurse podcast, and you're listening to Season 3, Episode 21, Resilience in the Face of Beauty, Advocating for Diversity in Aesthetic Nursing. In this episode, Dr. Keke shares her journey into the world of aesthetics industry, highlighting a defining moment that led her to advocate for diversity in the field. She discusses her transition from traditional nursing to aesthetics, driven by a passion for more than just beauty, but medical treatments that provide empowerment and support representation. Dr. Keke breaks down the essential skills nurses need to succeed in the aesthetics industry, from technical experience to two A's you'll never forget from nursing school and a hustle business spirit. She emphasizes the importance of continuing education, offering key insights on what to look for in training programs. Through her work, she hopes to inspire and empower future nurses, particularly those from underrepresented backgrounds, to carve their own paths in aesthetics. Reflecting on her journey, Dr. Keke shares the advice she would give her younger self, emphasizing resilience and self belief. Tune in to hear her wisdom on breaking barriers and thriving in the evolving world of aesthetic nursing.
You're listening to an episode of Listen Up Future Nurse Podcast. Scan the QR code if you're watching, or click the link in the podcast show notes to get your virtual remote. Make sure to tune in and subscribe on Spreaker and follow us on all your favorite podcast locations. And watch us live online on all of your favorite social media sites.
No login, no problem. No matter if social media isn't your thing or you're taking a break, you can listen in right on our website. Save your data and this episode by downloading it from our website, nursinginspired.com/podcast. So if you have to take a pause, you don't lose your place where you were listening or your battery power. That'll also help our podcast rankings rise to the top.
This podcast is hosted by Fallon M. Flowers.
Shakika Williams, also known as Dr. Keke, is a powerhouse entrepreneur, medical aesthetics expert, and founder of Skyrose Rejuvenation Clinic and Spa PLLC. With a passion for inclusivity in aesthetics, she created a premier medical aesthetics academy to train and mentor Black and Brown providers, bridging the injector confidence gap and ensuring diversity is recognized in every treatment. A dedicated mompreneur, Dr. Keke is building generational wealth and leaving a legacy, not just for her children, but for the entire community. Her journey is rooted in resilience, faith, and a deep commitment to uplifting others. She has earned multiple accolades, including the I Heart Brilliantly Black Business Award and Southland's Best in the Region Medical Spa for 3 consecutive years. Transforming lives through aesthetics, empowering future injectors, or redefining the businesses of business and beauty and wellness, Dr. Keke is on a mission to make a lasting impact. All right, we are live here. So happy Women's History Month, everyone. We just rounded out Black History Month, and I'm just loving this because we really are in, well, next month technically is Black Women's History Month, but I'm just really loving not only having Black History Month last month and now starting off Women's History Month and our third season with Dr. Keke here, y'all. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Yes. And please tell everyone where you are hailing in from today.
I am actually hailing in from Pittsburgh. So I am in Pittsburgh this weekend training. I'm a national trainer. So Pittsburgh is up first for Women's History Month.
All right, all right. And then, but you are originally from Chicago, though.
Yes, I am originally from
Yes.
Chicago, born and raised, and I am in the suburban area, and my med spa is in Orland Park.
Yes, y'all. Chi-Town. Chi-Town is in the house. Y'all hear this? I'm so happy to have my fellow Chicagoan here and fellow nurse practitioner too. So this is going to be an awesome show. So I want to, dive right in and let's just talk about, what, some of your beginnings were. So can you share like a defining moment in your career that shaped your path?
I can. Actually, I'll give you like a preview of what I will be speaking on March 22nd, because I'm going to be speaking at the IMG Expo. But a defining moment, especially leading up into my aesthetic career, was a statement that was made to a fellow colleague about me making it in this industry. So I started in aesthetics in 2019. Wasn't my go-to. I wanted to do a private practice, but I met with a coach, and in order to do my private practice and offer Botox, because I do Botox and fillers, I wanted to offer for medical indications. But in order to do that, that's considered advanced. So I had to start basic. And so basically it's the aesthetic side of it. Learning the aesthetic side of it just kind of opened up a bunch of windows for me. And so I'm like, oh, this is cool. I'm gonna get into it. So my coach at the time connected me with a psychiatric doctor who was looking for a nurse, or looking for nurse practitioners, nurses to work at her spa that she was getting ready to open in exchange for training us, or getting us the training that we need. A win-win situation, right? This training is not
Yeah.
cheap. So I'm like, great. So we got on board with each other. But to say the least, long story short, that relationship didn't really go as planned, because the provider had hitting motives, or whatever the case may be, on what she was looking
Oh,
for. And the training that she was supposed to pay for wasn't really training. It was just like some behind the scenes things that really wasn't the training that we truly needed if we were going to be injecting in people's faces. So once we kind
my
of all
God.
parted ways from her, because there was about 5 of us, 2 African American, a Polish,
Mm.
maybe 3 Caucasian women were actually on board to help her. Where apparently she made the statement to the other African American MP that I was not going to make it in this industry, the aesthetic industry, because I was Black. Fast forward, I am a national aesthetic trainer, owning 2 5-star businesses, speaking nationally at aesthetic conferences, but I was not going to make it
Come
because
on,
of my skin color.
somebody.
Not because of my skills, not because of anything, but because of my skin color.
Ooh.
So I took that statement, and that was the fuel to my fire, and I went in full throttle. And it's like it was one of those, I can show you better than I can tell you.
I know that's right, Dr. Keke. Come on, y'all. Woo!
Yeah,
Wow.
she should did. Because
It's, oh my
and that's the
God.
closed-minded. That's the closed mind that
Wow.
I won't say a lot of people in this arena has, but because we're of color and the services are known to be for other nationalities, it's like, who am I? How dare me come into this
Mm,
industry, right?
mm.
How dare me try
Wow.
to come up in something that's not for me? What do I know about Botox? What do I know about fillers? And that was her thought process.
My
Like,
God.
I'm not, because that's
Mm.
what people think, that it's only for a particular nationalities. But newsflash, 80,
Whew.
maybe 90% of my clientele are Black. And they're not getting facials and IV. They're getting Botox and fillers. Because a lot of
See,
us look for people that look like them. And so we're needed in this industry. Because the people we want it, our counterparts that are African American, we want it, but we want it from someone that looks like us. And that's where I come in at.
yes.
Is focused on Black and brown providers. Meaning a lot of people that look like me. I train everyone, but
Mm,
my focus is on Black and brown providers, because we don't have
my
the same
God.
opportunity.
You know, well, I tell you, that was really a setup y'all, this first question right here, Lord have mercy. I mean, she done dropped so much stuff to unpack right here. This is just really, you know, sometimes we have those things in life that upset us and that kind of frustrate us, but we can take it and we can go ball up in a corner somewhere, hide up under a cover, or we can take it and use it for as fuel for our fire.
Yep.
Dr. Keke was already, y'all, she was already motivated to do what she was going to do in the industry, but this just gave even more. She was already incredibly talented and already well achieved already before this, but now you gonna give somebody fire for this fuel? Okay, well, let's go ahead. And that's exactly what she did. But what I love, Dr. Keke, that you did was not only say that I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do well in this industry, but I'm going to reach as I climb and I'm going to bring others with me. And I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that this is people that look like me. Because as I always say on this show and everywhere, representation matters.
It
And,
does.
it not only matters, not only, in this career field with having other people that look like you, to bring them up, but also representation matters when we're talking about racial concordance and congruence when you're serving patients that look like you. Because, like you said, and I know, when we had those Black patients, they absolutely love it. They're like,
Mhm.
thank God, somebody that understands, because, Black skincare, Black beauty in general
It's
is
different.
still to be understood
It's different. We
from the
need
industry.
we have to take the time to our counterparts, our allies need to take the time to learn how to
They
care
really
for
do.
all skincare. If you're gonna be in an
Yes.
industry where your clientele is a mix, it's diverse, take the time to go and learn about it. Like my training, I
Yes.
include diversity in aesthetics in my training because
Hmm.
not all faces are created equal. And so your
Yes.
treatment plan shouldn't be either. And so it's like it's
Exactly.
so sad when we see a lot of these cases on Instagram that pop up like, oh,
Hmm.
I went here and I got laser and they burned me. Well, guess what? If
See.
if
Mm-mm.
you're my complexion or darker, lasers ain't for us. And if it is, you got to make
Right.
sure you're pre-treating and the person knows
Mm.
exactly what they're doing because it's certain lasers that we can receive, but they need to
Mm.
be trained on it. But you get these reps and they come and they sell you these machines and they tell you that it's good for all skin types, and that's a lie. And if you don't do your own due
See.
diligence and educate yourself, then you're gonna be burning, anybody that's a 4, 5, or 6, and that's kind of like our grading
Woo!
scale of aesthetics.
See. And see, also, you don't know what you don't know. And like you mentioned as well, you had a coach, and then now you're teaching and instructing people. Yes, you can do your own research, but you also have to know where is your limit. Because I mean, we even know this as nurse practitioners, where does your limit lie? Because if this is something that I don't have experience with, or this is kind of a little bit more complex beyond my training or understanding or what a comfortability level, that's where you collaborate if need be. But this is so great, just kind of bringing this out and really just showing that don't let anybody stop you, because your story about what you talk about with her saying that, which I'm still just in awe of the audacity of saying this to another person, one, but saying this to another Black nurse practitioner. Like, you didn't think she was gonna go back and tell
And
sis?
tell
Like,
me,
what? You didn't
she,
think
she said what? She said, girl, I said she was comfortable enough to say
that?
it. I was just
It's
like,
too
okay.
much. It's too much. It's literally too much. But that same thing, can kind of happen, we see with nursing, because also, where it is a field that is predominated by, white women. Some people call it, I'm gonna put air quotes, a white woman's field as nursing.
Yeah.
So now you're taking two fields that are predominated by white women, and here you are, a Black woman shining bright like a diamond. Come on, somebody.
That part, because what is it? Nurse practitioners, what? We are 8% of the population
Yes.
of practitioners.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
I'm sure that percentage is even smaller when it comes to Black nurse practitioners in aesthetics, if you really want to break it down.
Man, that would.
Like I know it's so much smaller Because when I
Yeah.
tried to research and find the number, no data
Mm,
exists. It
yeah.
just gives me the
Yeah.
data for nurse practitioners in general.
See? That's how you make it diamond, baby. You got to put that pressure on that coal.
Yes. So
And the pressure was
that
definitely
was a
put.
defining moment, definitely.
Wow.
Was the most recent one that was just like, oh, okay. And it took from the people around me to kind of be like, because we don't give ourselves credit, we don't give ourselves
Mm,
grace for a lot of the stuff.
yeah,
We don't stop to really even take in our own accomplishments. So it took like
that's so
my
true.
circle of people to be like, you dope, right? And I'm like,
Hmm.
I guess you're right. Because I'm real humble and
Yes,
just like,
you
I'm just
are.
out here. Like, okay, I did that. Let me do something else. Let me do something else. And they were like, have you stopped to just like take in what you've
Mm,
accomplished? And it's just like,
mm.
it's cool, but it's like, it's more to be done.
Yeah, yeah. And we have to, that is, and I think you're right sometimes because, we're always taught sometimes as Black people to, we have to work twice as hard to get half as far and all the things. And so we're so busy looking at the next thing that we're not even looking at what's around us or
Yeah.
even what's behind us, and it's just like, don't you remember when you got that award? Don't you remember when you did this? Don't you remember when you did that? And it's just like, my God, but we do have to not only remember to celebrate the little wins, but also having a good community around us, which is so terribly important. It's just to have others around you that believe in you, that see what you're doing, that can hear you, because that's the thing, is that we're not always seen or heard, which is why we need to continue to keep, community around us, which is so very important, which is why I love doing this podcast. Also having my fellow Black nurses, nurse practitioners, and folks on here, as guests. But also what you're doing as well, by making sure and saying, hey, I am not only gonna serve, because you could have said, hey, I'm gonna go and be a practice owner and I'm just gonna do my thing and serve my patients and that's it. But you decided, no, I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to actually bring some other folks along so that they can learn too, you know.
Yep.
So that's really important. So, and I'm so glad you're here today. So, with this, actually, I want to know what inspired you to transition from into medical aesthetics from traditional nursing?
So as I mentioned, my ultimate goal was to start a private practice, and I wanted to offer my patients a variety of options for treatments. And so I suffer from migraines, I suffer from excessive sweating, and so Botox is a treatment for that, right? So I wanted to
Yes,
have that
yes.
I wanted to have that as an option in my primary practice, but I had to learn the basic side of aesthetics, and the basic side included the wrinkles, the gabella, the frontalis, the crow's feet. And so once that door got open
Mm,
and I was exposed to being able to not only, a lot of people look at what we do as vain or superficial, and it's deeper
mm,
than that.
mm-hmm.
It's deeper than that. Like,
Yes.
these clients are looking for solutions to inner issues, right? Now, granted,
Mm,
the toxin and the fillers is not going to get rid of any mental things they're dealing with, but we're talking about confidence. We're talking about boosting
mm,
their energy, things of that nature. So when I was able to like
yes.
find out and identify, like, I can do a couple units of this injectable and help someone feel good about themselves and don't have to deal with
Mm,
insurances. You don't want to have to deal with those insurances.
that's a whole.
Don't have to deal with
That's a
insurances.
whole nother. Whew.
Boost confidence. Like, I've had
Yes.
people cry in my seat. Like, I'm talking about shed tears, because
Mm,
now what I've just done, they feel like now they're okay to go outside with their friends now.
wow.
They haven't been outside because they got some extra weight in their, double chin, whatever with their issue,
Oh my
that's their
God.
issue. But I have a solution for that, right? So
Mm,
once I kind of saw that side of it and saw that it's more than just getting rid of a couple wrinkles, that it's actually deeper than that. I just dove head first. I dove head first, and I started learning everything I possibly could about it.
yes.
I started learning all of the other things that we can treat with it. So again, lay people think it's just, oh, the wrinkles between my eyes, foreheads, but we're treating migraines, we're treating excessive sweating, we're treating TMJ pain, we're treating keloid scars, cervical dystonia, overactive bladder, skin tightening,
Wow.
plantar fasciitis, where it's like a lot of medical indications,
Wow.
erectile dysfunction. If we want to talk about sexual reproduction, we're increasing orgasm. So the O shot, the P shot.
Wow.
So it's a lot of medical reasons. So it's like I was able to blend medicine and beauty into one. And so
Wow.
I transition over to aesthetic medicine. So when you hear like
My
medical
God.
spa, like it's a difference between a medical spa and a day spa. We're not doing, a typical facial. We're not like, we're treating real life, like medical issues, melasma,
Wow.
rosacea, hyperpigmentation, cystic acne, like hair restoration. We're helping people get their hair back. We're doing breast lifts, face lifts, all types of things. So it's like, it's so many different ways that you can
My
go.
God.
Aesthetic medicine is not just the wrinkles on the face. So when I saw that
My
it was a
God.
whole different ball game, and then that's just on the treatment side. Now you're talking about I can position myself to pour into others what I know on my
That's so
terms.
good. That's so good. Woo! Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I honestly didn't know, because that was going to be one of my next questions when you kept saying, lay people, or we do this, or they think we do this. And I was going to say, well, tell me all, what do you do?
Yes,
I've seen your website before, which is so beautiful.
thank you.
But I didn't, look at it in great detail. That is really, really eye-opening to know, because you're right. I think a lot of people do think like, oh, med spa, oh, they're doing facials, oh, they're doing, stuff for wrinkles. It's,
Right.
but don't
But you
even realize.
Bell's palsy, right? And we're not technically treating
Wow.
Bell's
Yes.
palsy, but we're treating the side effect of Bell palsy. So it gives you that stroke-like
Yes.
appearance, which is supposed to be
With that
temporary.
facial drooping. Yes.
But what we do is we
Hmm.
inject the opposite side that's not affected. So it droops. So now you're back symmetrical and you don't have to walk around with a lopsided face. And then you just get that treatment
Shut the
maybe every
front door.
until it wears off. And so, so that way you don't have to walk around, looking like you had a stroke. So it's so
Wow.
many different things that it's not
Right.
just all beauty,
Wow.
like you really can help some people just feel better
Mm.
about themselves.
This is like a medical ministry. My God. I mean, especially, yeah, because when you mentioned Bell's palsy, because I remember being in high school, actually, I had a high school teacher and he had Bell's palsy and his face drooped, and it drooped for so long. And I was just like, my God, when is he going to get better?
Yeah, because they say average 3 to 6 months, but sometimes it can be longer. And at least if
Yeah.
in the way toxin is tricky, but you're basically hitting the unaffected side, to try to even it out. Because certain muscles that we want to avoid because it can cause ptosis or drooping. Well, in treating
Yes.
those palsy symptoms, you purposely hit those muscles, so it can cause the drooping. So their face can kind of
My
be a
God.
little bit more symmetrical.
Wow. Boy, you are just so full. My God, you just busted at the seams.
It's so much that people just don't know. So it's definitely it's a great field. Not just because everybody knows it's lucrative, but like you can really make a difference in
Yeah.
your clients' lives, and you can give them other options. We do weight loss, so
Yes. Yes.
we do so much. So it's definitely
Oh my gosh.
something to
Wow.
consider for those who's trying to figure out which path they want to take coming out of nursing school,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe already in nursing or bedside, and like they like aesthetics is definitely it's almost like nursing. Once you get that nursing degree, so many doors open. It's like once you get in
Yes.
aesthetics, it's not just Botox and fillers. There's so much you can do on the aesthetic and wellness side.
Yes. And so this is actually something that both nurses and nurse practitioners can participate in. Is that right?
That is correct. So at minimum, and so what I recently just found out is that in the state of Illinois, and maybe a few other states, but definitely in the state of Illinois, LPNs can actually inject Botox. under the supervision of their medical director, which can be a medical doctor or a nurse practitioner who has full practice authority. But with the
Okay.
proper training and the standing orders and the delegation from those two, they can definitely, the LPNs, but pretty much across the board, RN, registered nurse, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, physician associates, and of course, dentists, chiropractors are getting into it, and medical doctors.
Wow. Wow. This is really, really, really something. Um, My goodness, wow. I just really love that ability to provide, an expansion of services outside of traditional medicine, just going to your, practice, um, because you don't hear about this stuff, when people go to their PCP, it's just like you have, it's just like, what am I going to do about this and about this and about that? And sometimes God knows it's going to take 4 to 6 months to go see because derms are so full, far and few between. And so it's just like by the time you get to see them, and then you got to deal with who's in your insurance network. But see what you're offering, people don't have to worry about insurance networks and co-pays and,
And they
all
can
of those things.
they can use their flexible spending card if they have it.
Okay.
Most of us, if we're set up to take it, we can take it. I know I'm set up to take flexible spending cards. So although we don't take the insurances, but if you have your FSA card, you can definitely use that. And then we do financing through a couple of different companies like Cherry and
Okay.
Care Credit. So it's a lot of ways to be able to afford the services if you don't want to, come straight out of pocket with cash or anything like that.
Yes, yes, absolutely. But I mean, it just sounds like you're able to meet the patients where they are, because also there's also folks that are uninsured, for instance, and then with the FSA, HSA, the health savings account, is that also an option for your patients and everything too?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow, this is so good. Especially now that you mentioned as well, just knowing that, because I think the thing is too, sometimes, people are seeing you, as a nurse practitioner, providing this service, and maybe they're a nurse and they're like, oh, I gotta wait there. I gotta go get my DNP to go do all of this.
Right. No,
What? No.
they can definitely inject as a registered nurse. When it comes to starting their own business, it's they can still start a business, but it's a few things that they have to have in place, which, through my academy, our business side of things, we definitely have a whole program that walks them through all of that. But
Okay.
yeah, they can definitely, RNs can do it. I actually just
Wow.
hired an RN. She started last week. So, and
All
then
right now.
my one of my mentees, who I'm her medical director for, she's in Tinley Park. She's an RN, and she has it, but I'm her
Okay.
medical director.
That is so love. That is just such love. Look at that. You out here employing people, helping them to have their own businesses, and you serving the patients. And here she is, and here whoever whoever that person was talking about you wasn't gonna make it.
Hot mess. I was like,
Don't don't mess with us children. I'm trying to tell you somebody.
what's this for me? Yes, I couldn't when she told me she said that. I'm like, she said what? But it's crazy, and like she
Oh
said
wow.
it so naive, like, like
Mm,
she,
mm,
not to
mm.
say she's racist or anything, but that's just her thought
Yeah,
process. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you really think like, oh, well, she's not gonna make it because we had a whole little conversation where she's like, oh, well, who's gonna be your medical director? Because I'm not. I said I never asked you to be.
Oh,
I say,
oh.
Sky Rose is not, trying to be built off of your company's back. Sky Rose is going to be regardless if me and you are connected or not. And that's
I know
exactly what
that's
I
right.
told her. Like I didn't come into this
Mm,
partnership with the ulterior motive of building my business off your business. Like that's not what it was. Someone said
mm,
we had mutual alliance, and that was because you're a
yeah.
psych doctor. I was in my psych program. You were looking to open a spa. I'm interested in Botox and fillers. Why not connect? I
Mm-hmm.
didn't connect with you to try to build my business off you. I was already building my business. It was already in progress.
My
That's why
God.
yeah. So it was eye
Wow.
opening. It was just like you gotta
Huh.
she's not the only one out there that thinks like that. Let's just say that.
I see now. With you saying it the way you just said it now, what I'm picking up was actually intimidation.
Mm.
She
That's
was intimidated. She was intimidated by you. Yep.
that's
And she
somebody
saw what you had. She
potential.
saw what you had. Because why, my thing is, why would you say that I'm going to make myself available to train people to help them so that they can have their own businesses? And then when you actually start doing it, you get funny about it. You know that there's going to be some people that but that's what you have to expect, is that when you mentor people and when you teach people, sometimes they're going to surpass where you are, but you need to be okay with that. If you're going to do that and go down that path, no matter if you're going to be an instructor, a coach, a mentor, all of that type of stuff, even a parent, I mean, you want your kids to do better than you. You're going to
And
be
that's
jealous and be mad.
kind of like I'm training, I'm coaching and mentoring my
Mm-hmm.
students based off my mistakes. Like, don't
Mm,
do what I did. So
exactly.
you're gonna probably get to wherever you're trying to get to faster than what I did, because I had to fall on my face for 2 years. I did it by myself
Exactly.
for 2 years before I got a coach. So now I'm teaching you what not to do on top of what to do, because I know that that didn't work, but this does work because I'm doing this now, but it took me longer to get here. So I'm eliminating all that for you. So it's like,
My God.
probably to me, but hell, that's gonna
Hmm.
speak, excuse my French, on me.
Yeah.
Like, I trained with her, she coached me or whatever. So it's like, that's my prize, to be able to, like, man, I did that. That came from
Yes.
so it's just like,
That's my baby.
right, like it's your kid. So it's like, but people, everybody, and you're so right, everybody don't think like that. It's like, I
Yeah.
want to help you, I'm gonna take your money, I'm gonna give you this information, but I'm only gonna give you, I'm gonna breadcrumb you, basically.
Hmm.
That's enough
Hmm.
to get you where you need to go, but not further than me.
Mm-mm-mm.
And that
That's
sucks.
terrible. That's
It's sucks.
terrible. That's so terrible. But
So,
that's all right. God
uh-huh.
don't like ugly.
Mm-mm.
No, he don't.
I was just, but you know what was funny? A couple years ago, she had the nerve
Hmm.
to reach out to me in my inbox and asked me if I knew anybody that was looking to buy a laser machine because she was trying to sell it, or did I want to buy it from her?
Don't want nothing you put your hands on. Nothing. You can have it. You can keep it, ma'am. Nope.
I feel like I have a front row seat to everything I'm doing.
Wow. I know that's right. Invited to everything. Every award show.
Like, you can stay on my timeline just so you can see what you
Hmm.
what you spoke did not come.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's pretty much.
Ooh wee. Wow. Oh, this is so good. Okay, we need to take a little water break. So but I do have some more questions for you. This is so good. So we're gonna take a quick minute, just a quick minute break, and then we'll be right back, y'all. And just a flash, y'all make sure y'all share this episode. Please share this episode. I know anybody who's watching live, watching the replay, make sure y'all share this episode. All right, y'all, we'll be right back. Attention business owners. Are you ready to tap into the fast-growing market of the nursing community? Partner with us to showcase your products or services to this dedicated audience. Nursing programs, especially at HBCUs, educational programs like CNA, phlebotomy, and CPR, healthcare staffing agencies, and businesses focused on self-care and mental health support. If you're a business focused on providing solutions for the nursing inspired, our platform provides a unique opportunity to especially connect with future nurses eager to invest in their education and career. You could be next for a sponsorship advertising opportunity on the Listen Up Future Nurse podcast. Contact us at info@nursinginspired.com to learn more about advertising opportunities today. All right, y'all. We are back. So, this has been such a great conversation so far. Just looking at, what for Dr. Keke, what inspired her transition into medical aesthetics from nursing, but really, also what her defining moment was in her career that shaped her path. And so, this show is for future nurses, but of course, I know there's nurses out there as well, even nurse practitioners. And so, I really want to ask from you, Dr. Keke, next. What key skills would you say nurses need to develop to thrive in the aesthetics industry?
That's a good question. Of course, assessment. They definitely need to have a great eye for assessment. Um, be very be patient, because it's going to take time to build that clientele. Anatomy, being really thorough and knowing their anatomy. If we're going to talk like interpersonal things, they got to have the hustle. They got to have a hustle.
Mm,
To thrive in the aesthetic industry, you have to understand that you are not coming to the table that is full. You are coming to build. If you want to
mm,
pull up a seat to a table that is full and all you got to do is bring your plate and it's going to get loaded up, go holler at a franchise. Don't come to these small businesses trying to, pull up and just eat off our table, because we need you to help us.
mm,
So a lot of them don't understand that. A lot of them is not willing to commit for the
mm,
opportunity in this industry. So from
mhm,
both spectrums, again, when you're looking to work with a small business owner in aesthetics,
mhm,
you have to help build. You got to be a team player. But a
mhm,
lot of we're coming from bedside, so we're in that 9 to 5 hourly mindset where we just come
mm.
to work and the work is there and your patients
Yes.
are there. In aesthetics, you got to go get your patients, and you got
Mhm,
to
mhm,
go and get the patients. So you definitely need to make sure you have that skill set, that hustle. Don't be afraid
mm,
to really put yourself out there, because when you do apply, or even if you're starting your own, like, hey, you know what,
mhm,
I ain't gonna go work for nobody because they're not trying to pay me. I'm gonna start my own.
mm,
Start your own. It's not that easy,
mhm.
because you have to still go out and get your patients. So you got to have that
Yes.
hustle to show up for yourself every day, even when you don't feel like it, because it's your business. And if it's not your business
Mhm.
and you're invested into someone else's business, you still got to show up every day. The money is made when we're not at the place of business, right? Because once we're there
Yeah.
servicing our people, those people are already our clients. Where the money is
Mhm,
the ones that we haven't touched yet. And that means
mm.
showing up even when you're not
Definitely.
at the facility. And a lot of them don't want to put in that work after hours, because it's like,
I
that's not my,
see.
that's not my business, and whatever the case may be. So they got to really have a team player mindset. Otherwise,
Mm,
go holler at a franchise where you just go clock in and see their patients and go on about.
mm.
But if you really want to be a part of something great, a part of someone else that is thriving and coming up and making an impact in your community, you got to be willing to actually be a part of the team.
Wow. Wow, that's so good. Which, yeah, some people are still learning that skill sometimes, as nurses to work as a team member in the first place. But, even I'll say as well for those that are students, pre-nursing students, nursing students, you really need to be able to own that skill. But what I also say is what it sounds like you were also saying within that hustle was actually learning to be an entrepreneur,
Yes.
of some sort, because like you said, if you go work at a hospital, at a nursing home, at school, whatever environment, those patients are already there. The demand, the knowledge is, and all of that is already there. Like, hey, I'm sick, I'm going to go here. But maybe, there's a learning curve sometimes when it comes to something like this, because I mean, you just put me on today. I had no idea. I
Yes.
knew
And
things like Botox, for instance, and, some of the things, but I mean, the
it's a lot.
amount of services that you can provide is just so much. And I just had no idea. And so, you know, and that I think is hard, can be hard for people, because when they have trained up their minds so hard and they were preparing for nursing school to become a nurse and all of this, everything was about, I'm going to go work at a hospital, I'm going to go work at a clinic. And those patients were already there, but having to, put in that work. And I've seen you put in that work, y'all. And when I'm telling y'all,
Yeah,
those
you got to put in the work.
displays, oh my God. I mean, her tables, everything, everything to
You
a
gotta,
T.
and a lot of the times when people are starting to like see you, you're starting to get that visibility. They don't
Mm-hmm.
realize that that's years of work,
Mm-hmm.
seeds being planted that they're finally starting to see that was probably planted 15 years ago. And now you just
Mm-hmm.
started to, see. So it's just like, it just gotta be coachable, teachable.
Mm. That's good. Yeah. Hmm. You have to be coachable and teachable. Yeah. Because that is, even something I deal with students as well. They come in with their own, and it's just like, hey, but we gotta, I need you to be able to just take a pause, take a listen, and be able to, take this in. But you're right. I think the challenges could be for some people, as they've become a nurse, or they were working to become a nurse, and they have been so excited to be able to have that autonomy, and to be able to kind of think on their own, that when somebody is needs to coach you and teach you to be coachable and teachable, you can't even take it in, because it's almost like somebody's talking about you and you upset because somebody has like some what word am I looking, constructive criticism
Yep.
for you, you know but you have to be able to, because this is a lot. And then you mentioned like about having the skill of anatomy, for instance, an assessment. But even really, especially that anatomy piece, how
Yes.
long ago did most people finish their anatomy class? And this is, they had anatomy, they went to nursing school, they might have even went to nurse practitioner school, then they've been in practice in between all of that. When was the last time you looked at all that stuff?
And my quote that I say is, if you do not know your anatomy, you should not be injecting. You should not be
Mm-hmm,
injecting,
mm-hmm.
because it's deeper. Like, even the anatomy that we do learn in nursing school is not on the level that you need to
Mm-hmm.
know for what we're doing in aesthetics, right?
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
got to know your anatomy, because you're blindly injecting. So you need to know what the
Mhm,
typical anatomy variation is, because there's multiple variations. But what is the
mhm,
norm variation? We know the facial artery comes here and goes here and goes here. That's typical. But then you have this anomaly that comes in, and their facial artery come and go that way. So you got to know what
my
the typical
God.
is, so you can be able to
Woo!
identify the abnormal ones, right? But if you're not taking the time to hone in on that after hours on the clock, I don't need you.
Mhm, I know that's right. Come on now. Dr. Keke, boy, that's it, boy. She an instructor and everything.
It's so much is deeper than that. And if you, and a lot
Yeah.
of time they want to interview with you, and yes, I want to do aesthetics. I always wanted to do aesthetics. Until
Mhm.
what's his my favorite motivational speaker, Eric Thomas. He said
Mm.
everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to be a beast. And I apply that to aesthetics.
Wow.
Everybody wants to be an injector until it's time to be an injector. Then it's like, oh,
I see.
I didn't know I had to do that. I didn't know about this. Oh, I got to post.
Mhm.
Oh, I got to, like, yeah, like, it's more than just being cute,
All the
having
things.
a injector on your little scrub top. It's deeper than that. Like, this is
Yeah.
someone's face, and you can cause
Mhm.
serious damage if you don't know what you're doing and how to combat it when it happens. So it's like, I'm with
Mm, mm,
anatomy
mm.
and diversity. I am like, I go heavy in it in my training.
Mm, mm, mm,
Like,
mm, mm.
I'm so big with the diversity portion. It's a big corporation called, I don't know if you're familiar with the AmSpa. So it's like
No, I'm not, but
they're pretty much like the hub for everything aesthetics, right? So if you don't know
okay.
what the scope of practice is, what you can do, who can inject, whatever, it's like this big organization that pretty much just has
Okay.
all the resources for everyone that's in the aesthetic, estheticians, all of that, our
I
SOPs, things of that
see.
nature. They host a
Okay.
they host a conference every year. I'm talking about thousands of people come every year. I think they're having about
Hmm.
8,000 attendance or whatever, but it's every year, big aesthetic conference in Vegas, lots of speakers,
Oh.
lots of vendors, all of that. Well, your girl is speaking on their stage April 12th in Vegas
Woo!
about diversity in aesthetics, how all faces are not created equal, and how to tailor your treatment plan to women of color. That's how serious it is about understanding diversity in aesthetics. It's deeper than
My
that. So it's like,
God.
you gotta
My
you
God.
gotta put in the work after, because if I only did it
Yes.
when I was at my spa, I'm doing you a disservice as a client and as a student.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Wow, absolutely. My God, that is so good. Y'all better earmark that. Now, can anybody like do they have to be a member of that organization?
So
Can they be a
they have
nurse?
me
Like what's the
non-members. So they do have an annual membership fee, basic and plus. To go to the events, you can not be a member. Of course, it's more for you to come if you're not a
Mhm.
member. versus if you are a member. But it is a membership kind of based thing, but they do have non-members. You're able to get certain things off the website that's, for non-members, but you get the most benefits the person.
I see. Okay. Wow. And with this talk that you're gonna give, are you gonna doing the keynote?
So it's so many. So I have it's a 25-minute slot that I'm doing when I'm in
Okay.
Vegas, and so
That's close
mine
to
is
one.
like on that Saturday. So I'm speaking. My other girl from Cali, two of my girls from Cali are speaking. One is speaking about weight loss
Okay.
and HRT. The other one is speaking about how to integrate AI. So it's just so many topics across
Wow.
business, leadership, clinical, and some other stuff that they
Wow.
got just for the whole weekend. And so
Okay.
much keynote, but it's just different speakers. That's basically I have my own time slot, so I'll be the only one up
Yes.
the time.
Get down, get down. I'm so glad that you are showing up and showing out and reminding people that representation matters. And teaching people about that whole diversity piece and just really being open-minded in their practice and everything. So is our continuing education units being given for your talk that you're doing?
Doing AMSPA conference.
Yes.
That's a CME based organization.
Okay.
So I think all of the talks are coming with CEs, or CMEs.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, and then actually with that, how important would you say is continuing education in aesthetics, and what should nurses look for in training programs when it comes to that?
They should look for, of course, if they offer CMEs, always be willing to continue to learn. It's never one of those one and done. Like, I'm still learning. I still train. I still go to conferences. I still go to seminars. I still go to private training. So it's huge. Like, this is a forever continuing industry. You want to make sure you're staying up to date with those trends.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. I want to take another quick commercial break, and then we can come back so we can finish out, y'all. So we'll be back in just a flash.
You're listening to an episode of Listen Up Future Nurse Podcast. Scan the QR code if you're watching, or click the link in the podcast show notes to get your virtual remote. And follow us on all of your favorite podcast locations. And watch us live online on all of your favorite social media sites. Do you have ideas about who would be a great guest on this show, or perhaps you have a topic that you want discussed? Let us know. Send me an email at info@nursinginspired.com or text at 773-609-0649. Hey, future nurses. Whether you're headed back to school or returning as an adult student, preparing for the ATITs or HESI exams can be overwhelming.
Staying organized is key. That's why we created the Nursing Entrance Exam Practice Calendar, your personalized roadmap to success. With options for 30, 60, 90, or 120-day plans, our calendar fits your schedule. Daily practice questions, full-length tests, structure reviews ensure you're ready no matter where you are in the journey. Back to school or starting fresh, get the tools you need to succeed with our Nursing Exam Practice Calendar. Start your journey today.
Download now and take the first step towards your nursing career.
All right, we are back. So I am so excited to hear that you're going to be, speaking at that conference and providing continuing education for the nurses and nurse practitioners out there and other folks who are attending that, would like to get into this industry. So with talking about education, I want to know from you, what is your hope in inspiring and empowering future nurses through your work that you're doing now?
Just to be a resource for them, right?
Mm.
Providing and being visible so they can see that it's other avenues. Actually, one of the students in my class today, she's only been a nurse a year, so she's like fresh already,
Okay.
considering aesthetics. So a lot of the times you'll hear, oh, they need to be working at the bedside first before they try to get into aesthetics. You don't have to
Mm.
be at the bedside to get into aesthetics. If you know aesthetics is what you want to do coming out of nursing school, do aesthetics. You don't have to, like, it's no one, almost like they saying you got to get hazed before you can come into aesthetics. Like, go work the bedside, go get burned out first, then you're going to be welcomed over here. And that's not the case. So
Yeah.
just being that person that they can see, to see that, and even just letting them know, because I mean, I've been a nurse for a while before I got into aesthetics. Honestly, I didn't even
Mm.
know this side even existed. So
Hmm.
showing up more on my platform so people even know that it's this here. A lot of people don't even know about aesthetic nursing. I got that a lot of my students,
Mm-hmm.
like, I didn't even know we can do this. I didn't even know about it. Just like, they don't know correctional nursing, school nursing. Like, it's so many different, like, it's key. It's definitely, exposure is definitely key. And so you want to, I myself just want to be able to position myself as being the expert in this industry, as being that person that, the nurse can reach
Mm.
out to, if they have simple questions or whatever, or if they're looking for a mentor, because we do mentorships where this aesthetic mentoring or business mentoring.
Mm.
Aesthetic mentoring is just like a monthly membership where it's just like, teaching you about the basics of aesthetics, right? You just kind of want to
Mm.
know more. It's just the knowledge side. Whereas the business side,
Yeah.
like, hey, I want to open my business. I want to see
Okay.
what I know, so forth and so on. So just kind of being that resource for these up and coming nurses, ones who may be considering and just kind of maybe want to jump on one of those, we call it our discovery clarity pick my brain calls. That was
Okay.
a complimentary call we do for about 30 minutes. And then, like, just getting more information to see if this is something they want to do.
Wow, that is amazing. Yes, and I do want to make sure that we provide that information in the show notes for anyone who is interested, in that discovery call and all the things that, that you're offering, not only for the business and the mentor side of things, but also if anybody wants to, of course, come see you for services as well. So yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
definitely. And we're
Yes,
in Warrior Park,
yes,
so yes.
yes. With any like nurse practitioners or other like businesses, like if they like for referral partners actually, so if they wanted to refer patients to you?
It cut off at the beginning. What's the question?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying that do you people can refer to you, like if nurses and nurse
Oh, yeah,
practitioners that have
like
their
an
own businesses,
affiliate.
you have like a referral program or something? Okay.
Yeah, so we do like an affiliate. I have a couple affiliate agreements where so I have a couple MPs, they're partners in Steger, and they do a lot of laser. They do Botox, but they don't do like the fillers and stuff. So they'll refer people
Mm,
for the fillers. And vice versa. Like, I don't do laser treatment, so I refer people to them
mm.
for the laser. So it's just kind of like that cross promotional thing. I had
Okay,
an
awesome.
esthetician that was looking to kind of get into business with me, where, I mean, I know how to do everything I offer, but I don't care to do the facials because I'm not an esthetician per se, but I know
Yes.
how to do them. So I would love to refer my
Hmm.
facials to her. And then she's referring her clients who's interested in like Botox, IV, whatever, to me, because that's not her scope of
Okay.
practice. So we just kind of do like some cross
Okay.
promotion. The other thing I do with like some of the salon mates is for every client they refer to me, they get a stipend, and then our clients get a discount off their service
Oh,
if they're coming in as well. So like, I'll pretty much give
okay.
incentive to those people, like the hairstylists in the salon. If they, if their clients are interested in coming over based on flyers I gave them, I give them an incentive for every client they refer to me, and then their client get a percentage off their services.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Okay. Wow. You got it all laid out. I'm telling you. I'm so glad, to have you here to expose the next generation, not only seeing that aesthetics is something that they can, do, but also to be a business owner, kind of expanding their mindset is
Yeah.
really, really important. but just also realizing and knowing that you can't go at it alone, and being able to partner with people and know your areas of strength and opportunity, for instance, is really helpful as well. Because yes, you're right. Because there are things as a women's health nurse practitioner that I can do. Do I like to do them all? No, I
No,
don't.
I like to I mean, part of self-care is delegation. So learning to
Yes.
delegate. So yes.
Yes, delegate and refer. I'm like,
Mhm.
go come back and see my colleague so and so. Yeah, Nurse
Yeah.
Flowers is tapped out. You have to know your limits, your scope, all of those things, and it's so very important. And so I'm so glad to have you here with us. So one last piece before we flip the microphone that I wanted to ask you was because we just talked about kind of the beginnings a little bit. So I want to go back to the beginning. Just
I can hear you.
Am I back in action now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Mic went out for us. My mic went out for a second. Okay. So I was saying, since we were kind of talking about the beginnings, like how would you help somebody from the beginning? I actually want to ask you if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Bet on you. Bet on you. Hmm. Like,
yeah.
and that it's gonna be all right.
Wow. That's good
Mhm.
encouragement. That's such good encouragement. Um, and the thing with you saying that is that that can transcend, no matter if that's for you as a nurse practitioner, as a business owner, as an aesthetics nurse, whatever that thing is, just taking that and just recording that and just saying that, you could play that to yourself every day and say, bet
Mhm.
on you. It's gonna be all right. Bet on you. Every time it gets hard, bet on you.
It's gonna be all right.
I mean, that sometimes it's really the self-talk that we give to ourselves, because you talked about your patients and their confidence and them sitting there, shedding tears and all the things. Sometimes it's those conversations that we have with ourselves that really can affect us the most, more than what anybody else will say to us. And so when you have something like that you can hold on to and remember and encourage yourself, because yes, other people can encourage you and can remind you of who you are and what you've done and what you do, but sometimes. And so I'm so very glad to have you here today and to share
Oh,
your
my
journey and share what you're doing and everything. Um, and so I want to flip the mic, and then I want to ask you if about your announcements in just one second, because I want to make sure to give time for that. So it is now time, y'all, to flip the microphone. Dr. Keke,
Oh, so flip the microphone.
what question do you have for me?
What made you like, what was your moment, your that light bulb moment that made you do this platform?
Wow, for the platform. I gotta think back. So I was for quite some time hosting Clubhouse events, actually for like 2 years.
Yeah.
I had Clubhouse room and it was called Student Support Sunday for Black pre-nursing students. And so I held that for, a couple of years. And the wonderful thing was just being able to, reach people that I never, would have been able to reach. I mean, I was talking to people from Canada, from Africa, from all over the United States, helping these Black future nurses, along with other nurses and folks that will come in the room,
in their journey. But my one challenge that I was very hard for me to get over for a while was, I had coaches, and I had mentors, and I had social media managers, and all these people I had gotten training and coaching with over the years. And they kept saying, you need to go live. You need to go live. You need to get on camera. And I'm like, I ain't getting no. I don't know. But something happened, because I knew at some point in time, I think I found the graphic from when I originally created like what it was going to be laid out. I knew in 2021, I think that I wanted to do a podcast, but I just never took that leap of faith. But something happened where Clubhouse decided to change their format and do some whole thing where it was, I forgot what they called it, synchronous, but it was like recordings. So you would record yourself and then other people would listen to the recording, and that was your new room instead of it being a live room. And I was like, I'm not doing that. And I was like, y'all have just taken away this ability to affect so many Black future nurses. What am I going to do? How am I going to do this? And so that it came to a point, I think, with that. And then also my coach, Dr. Lauren Michaels Harris, he actually allowed me to host 2 television specials. And I think after having done those, I became comfortable with being on camera and navigating behind the scenes while being on the camera at the same time. And I think all of that combined brought me to this point. And it was like, you know what, I need to start. And so here we are. I'm going on close to a year this coming May, and then season 3, over 250 downloads. And I'm just so grateful to God to be able to take that leap of faith, and tell myself it's going to be all right.
That's right. Nice. Congratulations.
So thank you so much for asking me that question. And so now I know you did mention, you have one announcement that you mentioned, but I know you a busy woman and you're doing a whole lot of things. So I know there's some more things coming up for us. So please tell us any special announcements that you have, events, offers, anything that you'd like to share with the audience at this time.
So coming up, the first thing coming up is March 22nd. It's going to be in Naperville at NIU Convention Center. It's called the I Am She Expo.
Okay.
And at that event, I'm sponsoring the Wellness Lounge. So inside of the Wellness Lounge, it's going to be IV hydration drips. It's going to be meditation corner. It's going to be nutrition and detox smoothies, massage therapists, crystal healing, B12 shots, full body composition for the most part. So that's the lounge. But the biggest part is I'm the main speaker. So I will be talking about from burnt out to balance, how to reclaim your wellness for 2025 for the busy professional mom, entrepreneur, women in general, or just career-driven professionals. So I'll be giving a talk on that towards around like the 5:30 hour.
Okay.
Closing it out is from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I can kind of give you the links and things like that that you can post. So anyone that is listening today, if you are able to, let me see, little trivia, Sky Rose trivia, right? If you are able to, and I mentioned it a couple of times, but what do we specialize in? If you're able to guess that on here, I have a ticket that I'm able to give away. Actually, so once you kind of drop that information and they send the answer to my inbox on Instagram, Sky Rose RCS. And if you guess correctly, what services we specialize in, what do we consider ourselves? Because I did say it. If you're paying attention, you can get a free ticket for admission. But otherwise, I'll give you the information that you can put out there. If anyone would like to attend, it's going to be other great speakers there. It's like a segment of a lot of different other women that is going to give 2-minute motivational talks. It's going to be a summit for teens, 13 to 19 or something like that. That's going to be going on. And then just a bunch of different vendors. So it's going to be amazing. It's a women's I Am She.
I need to be there. Okay.
And then the other big thing is not a voting thing. I am running for Entrepreneur Impact of the Year. That voting stops at the end of March. So that link has been circulating. We made it. We didn't announce it yet, but we made it to quarterfinals.
Woo!
So I am a quarterfinalist, and so the next will be semifinals and then finals. So
Oh my God.
and then the other thing is it's no voting involved, but we are looking for sponsors to help sponsor. But I have been nominated for Miss Corporate America of Illinois. So it's a whole pageant, girl. I got to do a whole walk. I ain't never did a pageant a day of my
We might have to get together. It's been a long time, but old Sally Fowl got some tricks in her bag. Back in the day, I did model for quite some time.
Nice.
And I was in a pageant back when I was in my teens too. So
never did a pageant. So yes, and this pageant is really geared towards business owners. So it's not a beauty pageant per se, but we are doing the whole 9 yards. And so that is April 5th. And then I already talked about the Speak in Vegas. And then I do have a big event coming up May 1st. It's another one of our wellness shops. It's called Millionaire Moms Glow Up Brunch. So it's kind of a celebration for Mother's Day. We just did one on Valentine's where it was a self-love, self-care event. It was amazing. We did sound therapy, guided meditation, massage therapists were there. We did a fireside chat with myself, but it was more like interactive. So it wasn't just me talking to the group. So our Mother's Day event is May 1st. Location will be determined, but I can give you that information as well to kind of to the audience for those that's going to be, but it's going to be amazing. I'm going to have my goal is to have a fire panel of women talking about wellness, wealth, and just self-care.
Wow.
So that's huge.
My God, you are full. And then are there any other opportunities for anybody who wants to do like a business startup or anything with you or learn that as well?
Yeah, so April 7th, we have the wait list right now where I'm launching a new 90-day, it's called MedSpa CEO Academy, 90-day business and injectable intensive. So pretty much from day 1 to 90 days, you should be opening your spa. So I'm literally walking you through the entire process. Every week a module drops. So wait list is open now. We are opening registration March 10th. Registration will be closed March 21st because the course starts April 7th. And it goes from April 7th to July 13th. And like in every week, we're pretty much giving you actionable real-time steps. So this is not one of those programs where you're going to pay your money and put this on the back burner. You're walking through this every week. We have live coaching sessions. I have experts that are going to come in and talk to you about operations and systems, marketing and branding. I have a mindset coach that's going to come every 2 weeks to help you just reset that mind because starting a business is not easy. I have a trademark attorney that's going to come in and talk to you guys about the importance of trademarking your business. You may not do it right away, but definitely think about it and get it done because you put a lot into your name. You put a lot into your business. You don't want anyone coming to you 5 years later telling you to cease and desist the name that you built years making. So he's going to talk to you guys about that. A lot of assets is going to be given as far as workbooks, policies, procedures, marketing books. Like it's a lot. It's delivery. So that is going to, and I'll give you that link as well. But that class starts April 7th. And and it goes to July 13th. And then also on top of, I did say business and injectable. So you also get hands-on training with it at the end of the program. So I'm going to also teach you the skills that you're going to need to run your business.
My God. Right here, y'all. This is it. Okay. If you are looking to do anything in this industry, this is your go-to. Okay. Please.
Your aesthetic and wellness bestie here.
Yes. All right. Come on, bestie. Yes. Well, all righty. So, Dr. Keke, I am so grateful to have had you here today. I have really enjoyed this. I have learned a lot. You have certainly shared some gems, and you have certainly inspired so many other folks. And so, thank you again for tuning in with us on Pittsburgh. And I'll see you back when you get back to the Chi.
I'll be back tomorrow night.
All right, then.
Thank you
thank
so
you
much. I
so much.
appreciate the opportunity. And I look forward to hearing from all of you out there that is looking to come over into our world.
All right. Till next time, y'all.
All right.
So let me just tune us on out, and then we'll see y'all the next time. All right.
All right, it's a wrap. Make sure to watch us live, listen to your favorite podcast locations, leave us a review, or if you'd like to reach out to support this podcast, reach out to me as a speaker, or sign up for coaching, please use your virtual remote. You can give us a review on your favorite place to listen or watch this podcast, such as Google, Yelp, or Trustpilot, and you can reach those from the virtual remote as well by scanning the QR code on the screen or by visiting bit.ly/Future Nurse Podcast. Love what we're doing and want to create live streams like this? You can access the sign-up referral link in the show notes for StreamYard. If you'd like to be organized like the virtual remote, consider making one for your next event or as a link in bio with Societap. Please support this Black female-owned company and get yours today.